I'm in the new garden outside the Natural History Museum. I'll just show you where I am. And we have some claims here, 500 to 39 million years to 485 million years ago. For billions of years, life was microscopic. Then it changed dramatically, and a burst of new life filled the seas. These strange creatures were early steps on the evolutionary journey that led to the animals we see today. Oxygen levels increased, and underwater life thrived in these new conditions, becoming larger and more complex. Eyes, antennae, and legs evolved for the first time. Some animals crawled on or burrowed into the seafloor. Others swam above it. Some began to hunt and chase prey by seeing, feeling, and smelling it. The hunted responded by evolving shells, spines, and other protective behavior. Now, if we just move over to this side, we will see life underwater, 509 million to 505 million years ago. And there's a picture of the different types of fossils that they are finding at this level. But let's just see what Dr. Carl Werner has to say.
Now you have to go from the first bacteria to the 7 animal groups. Now, all animals on Earth today, 99% of them, can be fit into these 7 groups, like coral group, the sponge group, the vertebrate group, the worm group, the shellfish group. All animals fit into these 7 phylum. And the problem is that how did these 7 animal groups form from this bacteria? You see in the center of the screen here, that is my drawing of the bacterium, but it would not be that big. It would be microscopic. You wouldn't be able to see it without a microscope. But how would a bacteria evolve into coral? The problem that has been known since Darwin's time is that these 7 animal groups suddenly appear in the fossil record, and there's no intermediate or links between the bacteria and the coral, or the bacteria and this first fish. In other words, you go to the bottom layers and these groups are already there, and you have no connections between, like, a bacteria, an animal that's half bacteria and half fish. Just think how complicated a fish is. It has a heart, it has blood vessels, it has blood, it has a vertebrae, it has a spinal cord, it has fins, it has a mouth, anus, and intestinal tract. But there's no animal that's halfway evolved between the bacteria and the fish. We just have fish and bacteria. It appears that they just suddenly appeared, which is the truth. But see, Darwin and evolution scientists for years have said the reason we can't see this evolution is because this would be small animals and soft animals that you could never see without, in the fossil record, because they just don't get fossilized. But that is no longer true in the year 2024. I want to show you how profoundly full the fossil record is, and that you can't use a poor fossil record as an excuse for that there's no fossils here. For example, 1 billion fossils have been collected. That's a B, billion. There's 1,000 museums with about 1 million fossils in each museum. And the fossils that we have collected include bacteria. Well, if you have fossil bacteria, you should be able to find the intermediates between the bacteria and the fish and the bacteria and the coral. We have fossil fish eggs. Now think about how hard to fossilize a fish egg would be. They're soft and small, and yet here we are with fossil fish eggs. Here's fossil animal embryos, 2-cell, 4-cell, 8-cell. These are microscopic. You couldn't see these without a microscope, and yet here we have fossil animal embryos, and we have fossil jellyfish, things that you would think would not be fossilized, difficult to fossilize animals, like worms and flower petals and this cattail head here. That's very soft. And even alligator poop. I don't know if the other person is still with us online here, but just imagine how hard it is to fossilize poop. And yet here we have all these fossils that should fill this in of soft, small animals, and there is nothing. Well, I have to conclude after the billion fossils were collected and with such a rich fossil record that the origin of animal phyla from bacteria simply never occurred, because we should have found some of these intermediate animals by now.